Hi, I'm going to go out tonight and I thought I'd do my makeup on camera. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I've got a rough idea. I'm going to quite a sophisticated private view at a gallery and then a dinner. So I want to look just quite chic and not overly made up, but just good really. So the next thing I'm going to do is my foundation. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm going to do slightly smoky eyes. So I'm going to go straight onto my eye makeup. I'm going to put a base on first with this YSL waterproof eyeshadow, and this is number 2. It's a sort of grey colour. I think I want to do something which is a little bit grey and smoky. So I'm going to use this all over the lid first, just as a base. Firstly, because it's got quite a nice shimmer to it, which I think will work really well next to the grey, sort of more matte eyeshadows I'm planning on using. And secondly, because it's a waterproof, crease resistant cream, it's going to help the powder eyeshadow to stick and also not to crease. So I've got the waterproof shadow all over my eyes. Next I'm going to use an Armani shadow in number 22, and this is sort of very Armani-ish colour, sort of taupey, browny grey colour. And I'm just going to pat that on top with my fingers of the waterproof shadow, just to get a sort of grey base all over. And as that's just drying now, that should hold all night, just giving a little bit more depth as well. Now I'm going to use, it's another Armani one, it's a much darker grey, a sort of matte deep grey, number 38, with a Paula Dorf brush, the Smoky lid brush. Just going to get that on the back of my hand and just start to just raise up my brow and just trace with that shade along my socket line, blending as I go. I don't want it to look too strong because I'm thinking of doing an eyeliner anyway, so I just want to get a little bit more intensity into my socket line. So now using a 217 brush, I'm just going to start getting a little bit more on in that outer corner and also slightly bringing it onto the lid. I just want it to look simple. I don't want it to be try-hard makeup. I think that's going to be perfect. I'm going to use a Q-tip actually, just to soften the edges there as well. Next, using a Chanel Smoky liner brush and the same dark shade, number 38, I'm going to start to trace along my lower lashes, keeping it really soft still, just to give a very soft smoky grey line. Now I'm going to use a Giorgio Armani liquid liner in black. This is the Maestro liquid liner. I'm just going to dot it. Just take some small strokes, just really close to the lashes. I'm not doing a thick line. I'd like to thicken it up towards the outer edge more. I'm also going to just thicken it up in that corner, take it slightly underneath. I'm going to go back in with a smoky liner brush, and this time with some matte black shadow on, and I just want to really soften this line and smoke it a little bit more. It's still going to be graphic, but I just want to take the edge off it a bit. So just smoothing along. So it's got the graphic shape, but the edge is a little bit softer. So before I go on with the eyes, I'm going to put on some foundation. I'm going to use Long Lasting foundation. This is Lasting Silk by Giorgio Armani, and it's number 4.5. I'm going to start in the centre of my face. Just going to lighten up my pigmentation. I always like to start on the centre of the face anyway. I just think it's the place that most people need it most. It's paled me down slightly, which is kind of the look I'm going for. I want to look quite sort of creamy and have the focus really just on my eyes. So next I'm going to use the Vichy it's a sort of concealer and foundation stick, and this is the Derma Blend one. So I'm using a brush to apply it. I'm just going to get rid of all my dark bits, so into the corner there, under the eyes, a little bit more around the mouth, and just blend in my finger. Before I do my mascara, I'm just thickening up this black in the corner, sort of extending it a little bit, just to get more of a real point, sort of top and bottom. So where the line for the flick going up here, I'm adding a little bit more to the bottom of it, so extending it down, and after extending it down, I'm bringing it underneath the outer corner, just so it gives much more of a lift. I'm going to do this eye to match. So I've got the thicker outer corners on both sides. I'm just going to curl my lashes and put mascara on now. I'm going to use Volume Million Lashes by L'Oreal in black for my mascara. And just get them nice and thick. It's just thickening them up, but it's also separating them a lot, which I think is nice, because I think we want the bulk of the black to be on the outer corner and the lashes to be quite defined and separated. I've put quite a bit of mascara underneath on the lower lashes, so it looks a little bit lived in. It's a sort of classic idea, but I've made it a little bit more messed up in a way. Okay, so I'm going to do my brows now. I don't think I'm going to make them too strong, but I'm just going to give myself a little bit more of an arch up there, and I'm going to do them quite greyish, slightly cooler. So eyes are more or less done. I might just give a little touch more in the socket line, but I think they're more or less finished. I'm going to put some loose powder on now. This is Jalique citrus powder, and I'm just going to put it around the centre of my face and then buff over from there. And before I do this bit, I'm not going to powder here. I'm just going to add a little bit of shimmering highlighter. I'm going to use one of the Armani shears. This is number 2. And using my foundation brush, I would have done this before powder, but I totally forgot and I wanted to do it. And then just blending it in just onto the high point of the cheeks. It should do it. It'll just catch the light. You can't really notice it here, but it'll look nice, I think. Give a little freshness. So next I'm going to use the e.l.f. blusher and bronzer combo. Tiny bit of bronzer, hardly any. I'm more or less going to take it all off the brush. And I'm just going to put a little bit to shade. But I really don't want much at all. And then finish off with the blusher. Just bring it up from underneath the cheekbones, just softly onto the cheeks. And that's enough. And to finish off, I'm going to use a Maybelline lip gloss. This is the Cream Gloss Sensation. And this is a really pretty, quite pale shade. I'm not going to use a lip liner. I'm going to keep the lips kind of in the background, really, just to take out the colour a little bit. So that's the look. It's sort of like a classic liner, but it's sort of deconstructed in a way, so it's a little bit messy, which I think is quite good because I'm going to be wearing my hair like this, which is a little bit messy as well. But we've still got the smokiness, and there is a little bit of drama, definitely. but I still don't feel overly done, but it feels quite eveningy. And that's it. I better run. I'm going to be late as usual. And thanks for watching.